Hello, I'm Kelly, a senior in the ACM tax team. Today I just wanted to give a short video on the annual tax on envelope dwelling rules. We commonly refer to that as ATEDs. ATED is an annual reporting and potentially tax payment requirement for companies, which applies if you are a company that owns dwellings situated in the UK. If this is something that might apply to you or is of interest, please watch on further. So, annual tax on envelope dwellings, which is commonly referred to as ATEDs. ATED is an annual tax payable mainly by companies that own dwellings situated in the UK. The value threshold has been reduced through the years such that ATED now applies to any UK residential property that is valued at more than £500,000. You will need to complete an ATED return if your property is a UK dwelling and has a value at more than £500,000 and is owned completely or partly by either a company, a partnership where any of the partners are a company, or a collective investment scheme, for example, a unit trust or an open-ended investment vehicle. So what is defined as a dwelling? For ATED purposes, a dwelling is considered a property that is used for residential purposes. For example, a house, a flat, that may also include any garden and grounds that contribute to the enjoyment of the residential property. ATED will not be extended for properties such as hotels, guest houses, to name a few. These properties are not considered dwellings. So filing requirements. If a property falls within ATED, an annual return must be submitted to HMRC. Each return is made up for a period from 1st of April to 31st of March. The return, together with the tax due, must be submitted within 30 days of the end of the return period, i.e. by the 30th of April. So penalties for failure to file a return. An initial penalty of £100 on the day after the date your return or document was due, and then further daily penalties of £10 per day for 90 days after your return or document was 3 months late, and then a further penalty of £300 or 5% of your estimated tax. If your document is then a further 6 months late, these penalties continue. So exemptions and reliefs. The most common reliefs are for property developers and traders. Property developers get relief from ATED, whereby their trade includes the buying and selling of dwellings, with the property held as stock purely for the purpose of resale. Also exemptions for qualifying property rental businesses, whereby there is a view to run such a trade on a commercial basis and a view to profit. The relief also extends to property developers, where the dwelling is held exclusively for the purpose of developing and reselling in the course of the trades. There are also further reliefs for farmhouses, property used for employee occupation, or dwellings open to the general public. So calculating the ATED charge. The ATED charges automatically increase each year in line with inflation based on the previous September's Consumer Price Index. The ATED annual charge will rise by 3.1% from the 1st of April 2022, in line with the September 21 CPI. The current ATED charges range from £3,500 per year per dwelling, valued between £500k and £1 million, through to ultimately £220k per dwelling worth more than £20 million. Other bandings, annual fees applies between these ranges. The charge payable is calculated by reference to the number of days within a chargeable period from the 1st of April to the 31st of March that the property concerned falls within the regime. As you can see from this table put up on the screen, this should now show the complete range of charges depending on the value of the property within the company. So the revalue of ATED properties. The value of the property for any chargeable period is the open market value on the later of the date of acquisition, the revalue date, or the revalue date. This is irrespective of the acquisition date. The revaluation dates are fixed every 5 years, being the 1st of April 2017, 1st of April 2022, and so on in 5-year increments. Since residential property has increased significantly in recent years, this may bring more companies owning residential property within the ATED charge. As a final note, Other taxes, not just ATED, will be at play for residential property within companies, to include stamp duty, corporation tax, and inheritance tax, to name a few. It is a very complex area, and therefore it is worth seeking professional support. Please do contact me or a member of the ACM team if you have an ATED property or are thinking about acquiring residential property within a company structure. We can assist you by working out the ATED charge and submitting the required return. Please do visit our ACM website for further news articles and up-to-date information.